Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we have another interesting, mind-blowing Reddit story. So without wasting any time, let's start it. I thought I was being a good bro by letting my best friend crash on our couch for a week while he got back on his feet. Now, I'm standing in my kitchen, looking at a positive pregnancy test. And the math isn't just wrong, it's impossible. Because 3 years ago, I had a vasectomy that my wife doesn't know I know failed. Or did it? My name is Mark, 32M. My wife, Sarah, 30F, and I have been the golden couple of our friend group for nearly a decade. We have the house, the dog, and the perfect suburban life in Virginia. But there was one thing we never had: kids. Not because we couldn't, but because I didn't want them. When we got married, we agreed on being child-free to make sure there were no accidents. I went behind her back. Well, not exactly behind her back, but I did it quietly and got a vasectomy 3 years ago. I told her I was just going in for a minor procedure. Since then, we've been carefree. Enter Tyler. Tyler has been my best friend since middle school. He's the guy who peaked in high school. Charming, athletic, but can't hold a job or a relationship to save his life. 2 months ago, Tyler called me crying. His girlfriend kicked him out. He was broke, and he had nowhere to go. Sarah, being the angel she is, insisted he stay with us. It's just for a week, Mark, she told me, rubbing my shoulders. He's family. That 1 week turned into 3, then a month. At first, it was fine. We'd drink beers, watch the game, and it felt like old times. But then, the atmosphere in the house started to shift. I work long hours as a software consultant, often pulling 10-hour shifts at the office. Tyler, being unemployed, was home all day with Sarah, who works from home as a graphic designer. I started noticing small things. I'd come home and find them laughing in the kitchen, a bottle of wine already half empty. Sarah started dressing differently. Usually, she's in sweatpants for work, but suddenly, she was wearing sundresses and doing her makeup just to sit at her desk. The inside jokes started. I'd walk into the room, and they'd both go silent, smiling, like they shared a secret I wasn't part of. I felt like a stranger in my own home. I asked Tyler when he was planning on moving out. He'd always give me the same: "Soon, bro, just waiting on that deposit line." When I complained to Sarah, she got defensive. She called me insecure and unsupportive. Then, 2 weeks ago, I had to go to Chicago for a business trip. It was supposed to be 4 days. I hated leaving them alone, but I told myself I was being paranoid. I trust my wife, right? And Tyler is my brother. He wouldn't. I came back early. My flight landed at 11 p.m. on Wednesday, instead of Thursday afternoon. I wanted to surprise Sarah. When I pulled into the driveway, Tyler's beat-up sedan was there, but the house was pitch black. I let myself in quietly. As I walked past the guest room, toward our master bedroom, I heard a sound that stopped my heart. It wasn't talking. It was the sound of the shower running in the guest bathroom and the muffled sound of Sarah's specific, high-pitched laugh. I stood in the hallway, frozen. The door cracked open, and Tyler walked out, in nothing but a towel. He saw me, and turned white as a sheet. "Mark, man, you're early," he stammered. Before I could say a word, Sarah stepped out behind him, wrapped in a robe, drying her hair. She looked at me, then at Tyler, and her face went through 5 stages of grief. In 3 seconds. "It's not what it looks like," she screamed. The pipes in our bathroom burst. Tyler was just helping me fix the leak. I looked at the floor. Dry. I looked at their eyes. Guilty. I didn't scream. I didn't throw a punch. I just walked out, stayed at a motel, and didn't answer their 50-plus calls. I came back 2 days later to tell Tyler to pack his bags. He was gone before I arrived. Sarah was a mess, sobbing, begging, swearing on her life that nothing happened, and that I was imagining the tension. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her so badly that I actually stayed. We spent the last week in a cold, silent truce. Until this morning, I found it in the trash can. A clear blue pregnancy test. 2 solid blue lines. I felt a wave of nausea hit me. Sarah came into the bathroom, saw me holding it, and burst into tears. But they weren't tears of guilt. They were tears of joy. She ran to me, hugging me, screaming, "I know we said no kids, but it's a miracle, Mark. We're going to be a family." I stood there, like a statue, because here is the miracle. Sarah doesn't know. 6 months ago, I went to the doctor for a follow-up because I was having some discomfort. They did a sperm count. The vasectomy was 100% successful. My count was 0. Zip. Nada. There is physically no way. That baby is mine. I looked her in the eyes while she was cheering about our future, and all I could see was Tyler's face in the hallway. She thinks she's won. She thinks this baby is the ultimate get-out-of-jail-free card for her affair. She has no idea I'm sitting on a secret that is about to blow her entire world apart. My wife is glowing. She's pinning nursery ideas on Pinterest, buying tiny baby shoes, thinking she successfully trapped me in a lie. What she doesn't know is that every time she kisses me, I'm picturing the lab results from my urologist. I'm not just a husband anymore. I'm a ghost in my own home, haunting the woman who thinks she outsmarted me. The last 72 hours have been a fever dream. After Sarah showed me that pregnancy test, I had a choice. I could scream, throw her out, and end it right there. Or I could wait. I could see how far she was willing to go with this lie. I chose to wait. I can't believe it, Sarah, I said, forcing a smile that felt like it was cracking my face in half. After all this time, a miracle, right? She sobbed into my chest. I thought you'd be mad because of our agreement. I was so scared, Mark. But this changes everything, doesn't it? We can put the Tyler drama behind us now. This baby is a fresh start. A fresh start, built on a foundation of lies. While she spent the afternoon calling her mother and best friends to share the miraculous news, I went to work. Not my actual job. I took a personal day. I went to the guest room where Tyler had been staying for the last month. Sarah had cleaned it, but Sarah is lazy when she's excited. I pulled on a pair of latex gloves and started stripping the room. I checked under the mattress. Nothing. I checked the closet. Empty. Then, I pulled out the nightstand drawer and reached all the way to the back, feeling for the gap between the drawer and the frame. My fingers brushed against something cold and metallic. I pulled out a burner phone. It wasn't Tyler's main phone. It was a cheap, prepaid device. It wasn't locked. I sat on the edge of the bed my best friend slept in, while I was at work, and opened the messages. My stomach did a somersault. There were hundreds of them, dating back to 4 months, before Tyler even moved in. Tyler, he's leaving for the gym now. Is the back door open? Sarah, always for you. Hurry up. I have a Zoom call in an hour. The timeline hit me like a freight train. This wasn't a moment of weakness. This was calculated, planned, a long-term affair. Tyler losing his job, getting kicked out. It was all a setup. They planned it so they could be together, under my roof, eating my food, while I paid the mortgage. I scrolled further. I found a message from the week I was in Chicago. Sarah, I think I'm late. If I am, we have to tell him it's his. He's so stupid. He'll just think the universe wanted us to have a kid. Tyler, he'll buy it. He worships the ground you walk on. Just play the miracle card. Something inside me went cold, sharp, precise. I didn't cry. I didn't feel sad anymore. I felt surgical. I spent the next 6 hours cloning that phone's data to a cloud drive and putting the burner back exactly where I found it. Then, I did something even more calculated. I called my urologist's office. Hi, this is Mark. I need an official, certified copy of my last 2 sperm counts and my vasectomy confirmation sent to my personal email. And I need a hard copy mailed to my office, not my house. Of course, Mr. Mark. Everything okay? The receptionist asked. Never better, I said. I'm just doing some estate planning. That evening, Sarah made my favorite dinner, steak and garlic mashed potatoes. She was being the perfect wife. She kept touching her stomach, talking about names. If it's a boy, I was thinking Tyler would be a nice middle name, she said casually, sipping her sparkling water. Since he's like a brother to you. I almost choked on my steak. Tyler? Really? After the way he left? Oh, Mark, don't be grumpy. He was just awkward because he felt bad about the shower thing. You know how he is. He's sensitive. Sensitive, I repeated. Yeah, that's one word for it. The next morning, I told Sarah I had to go into the office for a big presentation. Instead, I drove to Tyler's new apartment, an address I found in the burner phone's GPS history. It was a crappy studio on the other side of town. I didn't knock. I waited in my car until he walked out. to get the mail. When he saw my SUV, he tried to duck back inside, but I was faster. I caught the door with my boot. "Hey, Uncle Tyler," I said, my voice terrifyingly calm. He looked like he was about to faint. "Mark, look, I'm sorry about the shower thing, I really—" "Forget the shower," I interrupted, stepping into his cramped, stale cigarette apartment. "I'm here to celebrate. Sarah's pregnant." The look on his face was everything. Terror, mixed with something worse. Pride. "Wait, she told you? I mean, she's pregnant? That's wow, man. Congrats." "Yeah," I said, leaning against his kitchen counter. "She says it's a miracle. But I'm worried, Tyler. I've been having some health issues. Went to the doctor. They told me some pretty scary things about my fertility. I'm worried. The baby might have some genetic issues. Because of me." Tyler's eyes widened. "Like what?" "Like, it might not even be humanly possible for it to be mine." I looked him dead in the eye. "So I was thinking, maybe we should do a DNA test. Right now? Just to be safe. You'd help your best friend, wouldn't you?" Tyler started sweating. I don't know what you're talking about, man. Why would I need to do a test?" I stepped closer, lowered my voice. "Because if you don't, I'm going to tell your probation officer about that side business you're running out of this apartment." I saw the baggies on the table, Tyler. "I'm not as stupid as Sarah thinks I am." The color drained from his face. He knew I had him. "Mark, please," he whispered. "It was her idea. She said you'd never know. She said you were blank anyway, so it wouldn't matter." "Blank?" I laughed. "She knew about the vasectomy?" "She guessed. She said you never used protection, and nothing ever happened. So she figured you were shooting blanks. She wanted a kid, Mark. She said you were too selfish to give her one." I had heard enough. I walked out, but not before taking a photo of the drugs on his table. I drove home, hands shaking on the steering wheel. I had everything. The burner phone data, Tyler's confession, recorded in my pocket, the medical proof. When I walked through the front door, Sarah was in the living room, surrounded by baby clothes. She must have gone shopping that morning. She looked up, beaming. "Look, Mark, aren't these onesies adorable?" I didn't say a word. I walked to the TV, plugged in my laptop, and hit play. The first thing that appeared was the message where she called me stupid. Sarah's smile didn't fade. It vanished. The room went silent. So I said, sitting down on the couch, crossing my legs, "Should we talk about the nursery? Or should we talk about the divorce?" Sarah sat on the floor of our living room, surrounded by infant onesies, staring at the text messages on the 65-inch TV. The silence was so heavy, I could hear her pulse. She didn't try to deny it. She didn't scream. She just looked at me and said, "You weren't supposed to find out." That was her mistake. She thought I was a character in her story. She forgot I own the house. The miracle was dead. Sarah tried desperation first. She fell to her knees, sobbing that she only did it because she felt neglected, that Tyler was just a mistake, and that the baby was still ours, because I would be the one raising it. "Mark, please. A child needs a father. You love me. We can pretend none of this happened. We'll tell everyone it's yours." I looked at her, and for the first time in 10 years, I felt nothing. No anger, no sadness, just a cold, clinical observation of a stranger. "I already called a lawyer, Sarah," I said, my voice flat, like a dial tone. "And I already sent those screenshots to your parents, and Tyler's, and our entire friend group." Her eyes went wide. You did what?" "I BCC'd everyone on an email titled, 'Our Miracle Announcement.' It includes the test, the messages, and my lab results. Everyone knows, Sarah, there is no pretending anymore." The scream she let out was primal. In that moment, she realized her perfect life was gone. But I wasn't done. "You have 2 hours to pack a suitcase," I said. "The locks are being changed. At 4 p.m., my lawyer is filing for an annulment based on fraud. And since you admitted you targeted me for my resources, the prenup is going to be very, very unkind to you. You can't kick me out. I'm pregnant," she shrieked. "Then go to the father." I tossed the burner phone onto the pile of baby clothes. "He's waiting for you in his studio apartment." A pause. "Oh, wait. I forgot to mention. I called the police about the merchandise. By now, He's probably being processed at the county jail. I walked out and didn't look back. The door closed behind me, like the end of a chapter. I spent the next month in a high-end hotel, letting my legal team handle the carnage. The fallout was brutal, but not for me. The evidence was overwhelming. The burner phone, the confession, the medical records. The judge called it marital fraud. Sarah got nothing. No alimony, no house, just her clothes and her debt. Tyler didn't fare better. The merchandise turned into charges. He took a plea deal. Now he's got an ankle monitor and a felony record. He can't even hold a basic job. 6 months later, I was sitting in a cafe in a different city. I sold the house, moved to the coast. My phone buzzed. Unknown number. I picked it up. Mark. Sarah. Her voice. Thin. Hello. What do you want, Sarah? I'm 8 months along. She whispered. Tyler is gone. He ran the moment he got the chance. I'm living with my parents in their basement. They won't even look at me. I can't afford the medical bills, Mark. Please, just a little help. For the baby. You used to be so kind. I took a sip of my coffee and looked out at the ocean. I thought about everything. The years, the lies, the night in the hallway. Sarah, I said calmly, I hope the baby is healthy. Truly. But like you said, I'm blank. I have no stake in this. You wanted a miracle. Congratulations. You got one. Now live with it. I hung up, blocked the number, and that was the end of it. I'm seeing someone now. Someone honest. We travel. We laugh. And there are no secrets waiting in the dark. Sometimes, the best thing that can happen is for your life to burn down. Because only then do you see what was hiding in the smoke. As for the baby, I heard she named him Tyler Jr. Some stories don't end with lessons, just consequences.